good morning, good afternoon, and for some people, perhaps good evening, everybody. Welcome to Marymount Manhattan College. Wherever you may be, whether it's in your living room or at your dining table, right here in New York or across the river in New Jersey, up in Massachusetts or even Rhode Island, down in Florida or in Texas, somewhere in the Midwest or on the West Coast, or even in a sunny beachfront in the Caribbean, I bring you greetings on behalf of our president, Dr. Kerry Walk, and the rest of our administration. In a normal year, we would all be gathered together in our beautiful theater or in our very spacious great hall. But 2020 is anything but normal. Needless to say, this is not the way I would have preferred to meet with you for the very first time. But thanks to this global pandemic, here we are in yet another Zoom event, which often feels to me like the start of an episode of Brady Bunch, or if you're a little younger, a game of Hollywood Squares. But let's look at the bright side. Quite likely, you're in the comfort of your own home. You're with your family and your pets. You have not incurred any plane fares, hotel fees, or highway tolls to be here with us today, and we are grateful for that. Let me begin my brief remarks by saying that for more than 25 years now, I have been here at Marymount College, a place that I call my home. Over these years, I've come to learn a lot about who we are as a college and as a community. Over these years, I've come to know thousands of students and their families, hundreds of faculty and staff. I've served 3 presidents, and I've worked closely with many vice presidents and other members of our administration. I've come to know and support our mission, our focus, and our values. And in the past 8 months especially, I've come to know how resilient we are as a community as we've worked together to meet the challenges of this great pandemic. So far, knock on wood, we've done well in managing to keep our students, faculty, and staff safe and healthy. So today, as I welcome you to the college, I'd like to share a few words about the small, amazing, creative, and resilient academic community. Let me begin with our academic orientation. You see, the mission of an institution is like its constitution. It's always a good place to begin, as it tells you in a few words what the institution stands for and what it believes in. The very first sentence of our mission describes us as a liberal arts college. This is fundamental to who we are, what we do, and more importantly, how we do it. But when we use the term liberal arts, what exactly do we mean? See, you don't have to be liberal to study the liberal arts. It doesn't matter whether you're from a red state or a blue state. Secondly, the term liberal arts has little to do with art. Yes, we have an amazing art program here, but there's a lot more that we have to offer. When we speak of the liberal arts, we're talking about an array of disciplines, such as mathematics and science, language and literature, philosophy and religious studies, history and economics, just to name a few. To us, the term liberal arts is really about a philosophy of what it means to be truly educated. Frankly, it isn't much about what you study, but more importantly, about how you study what you study. Like other liberal arts institutions, we believe that a truly educated person is someone who thinks critically, reads broadly, writes clearly, speaks articulately, communicates effectively, and problem solves creatively. That's who we are here at Marymount Manhattan College. But in addition, we believe that a truly educated person is someone who understands the interdisciplinarity of knowledge. There is no such thing as a purely economic problem or a purely political problem. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, Facebook is as much psychology and sociology as it is technology. Further, we believe that an educated person is someone who understands the relativity of knowledge. They understand that what works in America may not necessarily work in Africa or in Asia. And that's exactly why we ask our students to take courses that involve international, cultural, racial, and ethnic perspectives as part of their liberal arts requirements. We know that the better you understand the world, the better you're prepared to deal with the real world. And finally, when we think of the liberal arts, we know that it has a lot to do with the appreciation of the power of data, of the power of science, and the power of mathematics in solving problems. And we make sure that our students are well prepared for those things. But when all is said and done, you ask yourself, why a liberal arts degree? What does it matter? Well, let me give you two examples. The Bureau of Labor Statistics today argues that an average worker may have as many as 10 different jobs by the age of 40. Having the ability to change from one field to another requires flexibility, adaptability, and that's what you get when you do a liberal arts degree. A recent survey by the American Association of Universities and Colleges said that 74% of employers said that a good liberal arts degree is what is best preparation for a career in this new global economy. Here at Marymount, we pride ourselves in laying that foundation. Every student, regardless of major, will take a minimum of 13 liberal arts courses. That's about a third of everything they study in our general education requirements. For example, during their first year here in the college and in the second year, students will do courses in creative expressions and language and literature, natural science and mathematics, philosophy, psychology, religious studies, social sciences, business, and history. And it doesn't matter what that major is, we make sure that everybody has that very solid liberal arts foundation. And this continues during the junior and the senior years in the college. But beyond our liberal arts focus, let me share a few more things about who we are and what exactly we value. You see, here at Marymount, we believe that a good academic community, in fact, a good community, is one that welcomes and gives equal opportunity to individuals, regardless of their nationality, their ethnicity, the color of their skin, what they believe in, the financial status of their family, and their sexual orientation. We strongly support diversity, inclusion, social justice, and equity. In fact, these values are enshrined in our mission, in our constitution, so to speak, which calls our student to develop an awareness of social, political, cultural, and ethical values for the betterment of society. Secondly, we are amazingly grateful for our strategic location here in one of the greatest cities in the world, New York City. In fact, we think of New York City as our extended campus because we believe that it's just as important of what you study, but where you study. So here at Marymount, New York City is deeply infused in everything we do. In fact, students begin their first year with something called the New York City Seminar, taught by a variety of faculty across a wide range of areas. Some of my favorite examples would be a course called Eating New York by Professor Peter Nacarata, or Curating the City by one of our art professors, Hallie Cohen, or how about Socrates in the City by Professor Carrion Biondi. In addition to these wide range of courses focused on NYC education, we offer much more. See, we believe New York is important because New York is a place where you can start any career. I often say that in New York, that's where you find Madison Avenue. That's where you find Broadway. That's where you find Wall Street. That's where you find the United Nations. There is no better city to get started on a career than here in New York. In fact, we strongly support internships. We believe that college is merely just a means to an end. It is not an end in itself. So from the very first day, we start our students with understanding the next step in their career. Finally, we think small is beautiful. As you heard Kristen said, our classrooms are small. You're likely to be in a room of 17 or 15 students, and that's important. So bottom line simply is, there are many advantages of being here at Marymount Manhattan College. You know, in conclusion, I know that picking the right college is something which is a challenge for many. It is a difficult task. There are many pros and many cons that you have to weigh. I know that over the next year or so, you'll be attending many other colleges and institutions. But what I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself about 6 questions as you do so. 1, are you looking for a college that values the liberal arts? Do you believe in the liberal arts and what it means to be truly educated? Are you looking for a place that values diversity and inclusion and social justice and equity in the world? Are you looking for a place that has a rounded curriculum and one that takes advantage of a great city such as New York? Are you looking for a college that intentionally focused on career preparation, making sure that college is not an end, but merely a means to that end? Are you looking for a place where class size is small and where you'll be known by your name and not by your number, where you'll be 1 in 15 and not 1 in 50 or more? Are you looking for a place where you can maximize your interests and your creativity, where you're valued not by some number that you receive on an SAT score, but where you are valued by who you are as an individual and somebody who is creative? If your answer is yes, that's what you're looking for, well, I'd like to invite you to stop again with us, to inquire more. I want you to have a wonderful day, and thank you so much. Be safe. And again, welcome to Marymount Manhattan College. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Michael. I'm clapping. I'm sure everyone else is clapping from home. Thank you for delivering such a powerful message and for sharing with our guests today why Marymount Manhattan is such a special place to so many of us. Thank you again. At this time, I would like to virtually pass the microphone over to Naisha McCormick. She is a current student leader, and current president of student government. And she's here to share with you a little bit of why Marymount is so special to her. Aisha.
Hey, y'all. Good day. Thank you for expending your time to all of those in attendance. I'm most grateful for your attention and compassion from this moment forward. My name is Naisha McCormick, and I am here as president of SGA, offering you a stroll through Marymount Manhattan College under the scope of a transfer student from Virginia Beach. It was as if the years between high school graduation and my 22nd birthday, which was my first day of school at Marymount College, was the time I needed to fully immerse myself in my independence so I could flourish as a student of New York City. I must admit, the image of what I thought my Marymount career would be isn't entirely reflective of my current reality, but I choose to believe that I'm better off in this alternate reality. Before I decided to commit to MMC, I gave myself permission to project into the future, a life that would lead me to bliss. And once I was strong enough to believe in my dream, leaping in faith, I landed at 200 East 6th Street at the Cooper Square residence. Attending Marymount Manhattan College meant that my social location increased in value, with thanks to the iconic residue that oozes from the pores of the Big Apple. Choosing an institution in the city of dreams opened the door to a world of opportunity that I didn't find anywhere else. Even with higher education being remote, I continue to embrace the life gifted to me through my Marymount experience. Within this establishment, I have gained a community of people who have embraced me and continue to help me see deeper within myself as a human being and an artist. I was blessed to have an acting professor who invested in me when I needed it most, and I continue to grow in love with the people who have made my career here a worthy investment. I've had a conversation recently with someone who stated that although we were from completely different parts of the world, they being from South Africa and I from the American South, we were educated similarly. This introspective experience was the impetus for me to embrace the ideal that institutions are ubiquitous. What distinguishes institutions apart from one another is the humanity that lies at the heart of its functions. I can't make a decision for any of you, and I won't attempt to sway you with my words, because this is a commitment for you, and it's about your journey, and it is an intimate one. So please be conscious of your instincts and listen to the beat of your own song. But in the spirit of November, I will leave you with thanks. Inside the walls of our 72nd Street home, I have had my fair share of tears in Nugent 459. I have erupted in laughter. I have danced in the halls. I have built precious relationships with mentors. I have found family. And although this is an educational institution, this is what I am most thankful for. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you, Estrella.
Thank you so much, Naisha. Thank you. So at this time, continuing with our schedule, I would also be virtually passing the microphone over to our admissions counselor, who will be giving our admissions presentation, Amanda Hudson. She's also a very, very prideful alum of Marymount Manhattan. So without further ado, Amanda.
Alrighty, so hello everybody. My name is Amanda Hudson. I am an admission counselor here at Marymount Manhattan College, and as Estrella also mentioned, I am an alum of Marymount. I graduated in 2017, where I studied theater and I minored in creative writing, and I'm originally from Florida, and I'm also the admissions counselor for Florida. So if anyone here is from Florida, hello. So I'm going to present the first half of this, which is focused on admissions, and then I am going to pass it over to Asleen and financial aid, who will be presenting the financial aid component of this. So we'll go ahead and we'll dive in and get started. Alrighty. So some quick facts about us. We are a pretty small school on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. We have about 1,900 students in total, and that is our whole student body. So for some colleges and universities, that could be the first year class alone, but that is our whole student body. So, that really kind of breaks down to an individualized experience, I should say, that really can't be beat. I mean, you have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of 15. So there is a lot of time to speak with your professor. There is a lot of time to ask questions in class. Someone who is more creatively wired, I knew that maybe math and science were classes that I wouldn't have done well in a lecture hall. I really needed to be able to raise my hand, ask them to repeat something, so we don't even have a lecture hall here at Marymount. You're never going to be a number. All your professors know you by name, they know who you are, and they're always, encouraging of you to contribute and participate in the classroom. So, again, that small school feel is really just nourishing and encouraging of a, very inclusive, and also, again, they just encourage you to participate. So there's a lot of individualized attention to go around. When it comes to what Marymount has to offer, we do offer 31 majors and 45 minors. And even though we're small, we're pretty mighty. As Chris mentioned earlier, we have students joining us from all over the world here today. And when it comes to who makes up our population, we have students coming from 49 different states, as well as Puerto Rico and 33 different countries around the world. Now, for those of you who are familiar with Manhattan or maybe have visited us before, this will be a refresher for you. But for those of you who have never been to New York City or don't know the city too well, this map here is just to kind of ground you a little bit, show you where we are located throughout the city. Our campus, again, is on 71st Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues, so not too far from Central Park and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And then we have 2 residence halls. The first year students typically live at 55th Street, which is on 55th Street. We kind of kept the name pretty simple there. So again, it is on 55th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenue, which is about a 15-minute walk up to campus. It's a really quick walk, and that is not far from Rockefeller Center, Times Square. It's very central located. And then the upperclassmen do live downtown, typically at the Cooper Square Residence Hall on East 6th Street. That is near Union Square, Washington Square Park, right across the street from the Public Theater. And it is about a 20-minute subway ride on the 6 train uptown to campus. Alrighty, so I'm sure we have a wide variety of students joining us today, whether you are a senior who has already submitted your application, a senior who is still deciding, maybe you're a junior or sophomore, kind of just starting to begin your search for a college that is a great fit for you. These are going to be helpful dates for everybody. So when it comes to submitting an application to Marymount, we are Common App friendly. We also have our very own Marymount application. We do not have a preference. Typically, if you are in high school and you're applying to multiple institutions, the Common App is, just the easiest for you. So you can definitely submit the Common App. We have a few deadlines for this. Early decision. Early decision is a binding commitment. You can apply this way if you know that we are your first choice. You're really excited about Marymount. And I only recommend this if we are your first choice because, again, it is a binding commitment. So if you apply to Marymount early decision and you are accepted, this means that you are withdrawing all your other applications from other institutions and immediately committing to Marymount. So this is a great option for a student who knows that Marymount's their first choice and really wants to get a head start on things. The deadline for this has already passed for seniors, but for juniors and sophomores who are joining us, November 1st will be the deadline for this application deadline. And then again, we will let you know of your decision on December 1st, so a month later. And then your enrollment deposit deadline would be February 15th, just a few weeks earlier, months, I should say, not weeks, quite a few months before the May 1st deadline, which is the nationwide decision day. So that's just to kind of get you as a priority student. You're registered first, so you get your financial aid package first, and you are set to go. Now we have early action, not to be confused with early decision. Early action is not binding. So if you're afraid of the immediate commitment, but you are still really excited, you want to get your decision in soon, and you want to get your financial aid package to you as soon as possible, early action is definitely the way to go. Again, not a binding commitment. We still have time for those seniors out there who haven't submitted an application yet. December 1st is the deadline for this option. And then your decision will go out to you by December 21st. So we try to get decisions out as soon as possible. But again, by December 21st, you will hear from us if you've applied early action. And then your enrollment deposit deadline will be May 1st. That is the nationwide decision deadline. We do accept applications after December 1st. That is on a rolling basis. So we read those applications as they come in, and we try to get you a decision within 2 weeks at the most, okay? We really recommend no later than, I would say, February, because we do want to get you your financial aid package and get you your decision without having to rush to make a decision by May 1st, okay? So those are your different admissions plan options, the different deadlines that we have. So what do you need? Again, I mentioned earlier, we do accept both the MMC application and the Common App, one or the other. The supporting documents that we need are your official high school transcript, which will be sent by your school counselor. SAT or ACT scores. It is important to note that we are currently test optional for seniors and now juniors as well. So if you are entering in for the fall of 21 or the fall of 2022, we are test optional. But if you do have test scores or you are able to take a test, before your application is submitted, feel free to send in those scores, but they are not mandatory. We require one recommendation letter. However, this coming from someone who does read applications, recommendation letters are a huge help to kind of see who you are as a student from different perspectives. So the more recommendation letters you have, the clearer picture we get. So feel free to send in more than one if you would like. The essay is already embedded in the application. We do not require an additional writing supplement. So the essay that is in the application is sufficient. And then the non-refundable $60 application fee. All righty. So some special programs that we have here at Marymount. So we do have our HEOP program or HEOP. This is specifically for New York State students. So if you reside in New York State, definitely check out this program. It is a great program for students who qualify, for some financial assistance to make their education at Marymount more easily obtainable and more of a possibility. Marymount really tries to be as flexible as possible and, really offer as much financial aid as possible to our students, which Asleen will touch on in just a few moments here. But again, we do have our HEOP program, academic access. So this program is, for students who require or prefer to have accommodations. So if you, need extended test taking deadlines, if you need more than 3 absences in class, if you would like to have technology to help you, whether it be device that helps you take notes or anything like that, any accommodations that you are looking for, again, academic access can be a program, and the Office of Academic Access and Disability Services can help you set that up. And then we have our performing arts and our fine arts programs, and then of course our college honors program. So college honors is based off of the information that we receive about your academics when you apply. If you are offered admission into the college honors program, that will be listed in your admission letter. So again, you can always also inquire about college honors, after attending Marymount and building a GPA here at our campus. So college honors definitely opens the doors to more class options for you, and it's a great program to be a part of. Alrighty, so after you are admitted, so this slide is good for everyone, but I know for juniors, this may be something you want to worry about a little bit later. You have a lot to kind of digest already. So for our seniors who have already submitted an application or will be soon, these are the next steps after you are admitted. So we want to make sure that you have applied for financial aid. That would be the FAFSA. Again, Asleen will be going over the FAFSA in just a few moments, but make sure to have that FAFSA submitted to us. You are going to want to submit your enrollment and housing deposits by the May 1st deadline. Again, May 1st is the deadline. We can guarantee the housing so long as you submit by the May 1st deadline. Anything after the deadline is a first come, first served basis for housing, okay? So you can submit those deposits in your admissions portal whenever you are ready. Then you are going to want to attend our Accepted Students Day. I do believe they may be virtual this year, again, due to COVID-19, but nonetheless, it will be an amazing event that we have prepared for you, and we will be really excited to welcome all of our accepted students. Griffin Days, these happen over the summer for our students who have committed to Marymount. Now you've been accepted, now you've made your decision, and it's a great way just to kind of catch up with people maybe who you met over Accepted Students Days or who you've been talking to over Instagram or Facebook, and get your schedule and just really prepare to start classes in the fall. You'll also be registering for classes. So you'll be in touch with an academic advisor, and they will help you set up your first semester schedule. You will need to submit proof of your immunization and final transcripts. You will have to arrange a payment plan or make sure that the bill is all squared away, whether that be through a loan, whether it be through payment plans, paying in full, however you and your family prefer. And then finally, you'll be arriving for Welcome Week. Welcome Week is kind of our orientation here. It's just to kind of help you with that transition into college, get you excited for the year that is ahead of you. And again, those are all of the steps that you will be taking after you are admitted. You will get emails about these events. You'll, get the information on how to register for all of this, okay? All righty. So finally, these are some virtual visit opportunities. So you are here at the virtual fall open house. So you are on top of it in that regard. When it comes to getting to know more about your specific program, which you will be able to do today as well, there are individual academic information sessions throughout November and December. So definitely go to our website, mmm.edu/visit, and sign up for those academic information sessions. All righty, so now I'm going to hand it over to Asleen. She works in our Center for Student Services, specifically with financial aid, and she is my go-to person for all things financial aid. She eventually gets tired of hearing from me, I know, but Asleen, I'm going to let you take it over now so you can speak about everything financial aid.
Sure. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much. Again, welcome everyone. My name is Asleen Zayas, and I'm the Associate Director of the Office of Financial Aid here at Marymount. I have been a Marymount over 8 years now. And as my colleagues have said before, we consider ourselves a family. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of questions regarding the financial aid process here at Marymount. And so we are going to be going over what are the options for you. Financial aid can be in the form of institutional, government, or external agencies to meet a student's educational need and expenses. They can be in the form of scholarships, which can be both internal and external, grants, both from the federal and state government, as well as the federal work study, which is an allowance that students have the ability to find employment within the college. Students also have the option of borrowing federal loans as well as private loans. And here in our office, we will be able to provide you with the steps to actually search for all of those opportunities. External resources is one of the things that we encourage students to look. You still have time, even for next year. We have information about those opportunities on our website, so we encourage to look for those as well. Marymount offers very generous scholarships, which are based on your academic performance and your academic profile when you're admitted to the college. For our first year students, scholarships may range between $4,000 and $18,000. And for our transfer students, the scholarships may range from $3,000 to $13,000. We also offer talent scholarships in addition to our merit scholarships, which may range between $1,000 to $10,000. And these are based on your audition, your portfolio, or your interview. Marymount also offers endowment scholarships that could be in addition to your merit and your talent scholarship awards. And like I said before, we highly recommend students to also apply for external scholarships on our website at mmm.edu. And you can search the external scholarships on our website. The more that you apply for, the higher the chances for you to receive something aside from your merit scholarships, as well as your financial aid from the federal government. The only application that we require students to be considered for federal aid is the FAFSA form. And I know this can be a very tedious process for first-time students completing the application. However, we highly recommend for everyone to complete it. The application becomes available October 1st each year. So if you haven't completed your application for next year, you can still do so, especially if you're considering Marymount as your early action. Our office is planning to complete those financial aid award packages, hopefully by the end of December, beginning of January. The only thing that you will need to do is include Marymount's MMC school code, which is 002769. You have up to 10 colleges that you can list on your application. Once we receive your process FAFSA and you have been admitted to the college, our office will be completing your financial aid award package. Now, if our office requires additional information from you, in order for your FAFSA to be processed by the federal government, we will notify you of the steps that you will need to make. The current cost to attend Marymount for this current year is $56,304 for our resident students, which includes tuition fees, room, and board. And for our commuters, $37,410. As Christian mentioned before, we are one of the lowest private colleges in the university. Bear in mind that you may be offered institutional scholarships and federal aid that can meet most of your need. The difference between direct cost and indirect cost, the direct cost is something that you will have, it will be what you will have to pay directly to the college, whereas indirect costs are costs that you may incur as a student attending college. And that information will also be provided to you on your award letter once we have completed that. Now, for students who are interested in knowing before they complete their FAFSA application, after they complete their FAFSA application, and to see what your financial aid package will look like to attend Marymount, you're more than welcome to use our net price calculator on our website, which will provide you with an estimated financial aid award package based on the information that you list on your application. Our office understands the impact COVID-19 has caused to many families, and we will work with you to ensure your FAFSA application reflects any income change as a result of COVID. So if you have any questions regarding the FAFSA process, please feel free to contact our office. I believe Amanda is going to be providing that information to you. Here you go. So we have received some inquiries about those, and we will be more than welcome to answer those questions for you. Again, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and we wish you the best of luck, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Asleen. I know that next up we had our campus tour, which is going to be hosted by Alexis McPadden. She is a mission counselor here at Marymount and also an alum. We were students together at Marymount. So I'm going to hand it over now to Alexis to introduce herself and go ahead and give you that virtual campus tour.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Amanda. My name is Alexis McPadden, and I am an admission counselor here at Marymount. I handle students from the West Coast and from Long Island. So if you're from those areas, hi, nice to meet you virtually. And as Amanda mentioned, I'm also an alum. Marymount has a hard time getting rid of Amanda and I. So we're grateful to be working with all of you. And I'm happy that I can show you guys around our virtual campus today. To give you a sense of where we're located, as Amanda mentioned, we're on 221 East 71st Street, so 71st between 2nd and 3rd Avenue on the Upper East Side. So this is what our main academic campus looks like. So we'll get started. You'll walk in the front doors and you'll be greeted by our 24-hour security in the COVID world, we do have temperature checks as well as social distancing ambassadors who will make sure that you've completed the COVID-19 survey and that you have passed that. And then you'll scan your ID to get into the building and head off to wherever you need to be. As I mentioned, our security there is 24 hours. They're always welcoming you there with a smiling face. So if you need anything, definitely go to them. They're always there for you. If you head right from the main entrance, you'll head into the Hewitt Gallery of Art. And this is an active art gallery where our students have artwork shown. We also have faculty, alum, and outside artists that have their artwork shown here as well. And these shows are changed every 5 to 6 weeks, so you're always looking at something new. And I'm always amazed by the level of artwork that our students complete here. Next, we're going to head into the Great Hall. This is our largest dance space on campus. And fun fact, it's actually one of the largest columnless dance spaces on the island of Manhattan. So even though we are a small school, we do have that to boast about. So any students that are interested in our dance program, BFA Dance, this is where you will be having those dance classes. We also have different orientation events that happen in our Great Hall. So even if you're not a dancer, you'll definitely be spending some time here. We do have a homecoming musical rather than a homecoming football game that happens in our Great Hall each year, and definitely an event that students enjoy. Next, we're going to head across the hall from the Great Hall to the Office of Career Services and City Edge. As Amanda mentioned in our presentation, Career Services will help you find internships, get a job post-graduation, get a job while you're in college. But if you need them, they are right across the hall from the Great Hall. Next, we're going to head up to the 7th floor of the Carson Hall building. Oops, sorry about that. How do I? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. So this is the 7th floor of our Carson Hall and home to the Ruth Smadback Communication and Learning Center. I always love to talk about this program. Our speech path program at Marymount is super unique. We have a clinic that students can get clinic experience in. You're always looked at by a registered clinician, but if you're interested in speech pathology, Marymount's speech path major is super unique and very hands-on. Next, we're going to head to the 6th floor, which is home to our biology or math and science floor, but home to our biology lab, our chemistry lab, physics lab as well. And one of the nice things about being at such a small school, our lab classes are capped at 12 students. So they're very hands-on, the lab component of any course. So you never have to fight for any materials or anything like that. And being that we are a liberal arts school with a liberal arts curriculum, you will definitely be spending some time on the 6th floor, no matter what your major is. But we have classes ranging from drugs in the brain to epidemics of infectious diseases, which I actually took, and then lots of other classes here and there. But you'll definitely be spending some time on the 6th floor of Carson Hall. Next, we're going to head to the Commons. This was one of my favorite spots on campus where you can come to get your food. So our meal plan works on a declining debit balance. So rather than swiping in and taking whatever food you want, it is priced per item, but you would get your food, come up to the cash register, scan your ID to have that money deducted, and then head into the Commons. So this is where we get our food. We do have things made to order. So if you have any dietary restrictions, allergies, anything like that, we're able to work with you. We do have vegan and vegetarian options daily. We have kosher, gluten-free, any dietary restriction that you might have, we'll be able to work with you because everything is made to order. So once you get your food, you're going to head down to the Commons. There's a stairwell in the CAF that will bring you down to the Commons. And just as it sounds, this is a common area for students to come eat, hang out between classes, just take some time to get out of the classroom setting. We do have our Griffin gear kiosk in the background. That is where you can get all Marymount apparel. They are open. So if you want to get any after today, Marymount's your school and you want to get some Marymount apparel, feel free to visit our website and you can get some stuff there, but that is also on the meal plan. So if you have the meal plan and you want to buy mom and dad a t-shirt for the holidays, you can do that as well. Other than just being a common space, we do have a annual drag show that happens in the Commons each year. It's a super, super well-attended event. Marymount students love the drag show that we host, and it is drag queens that are current Marymount students. So come and support your fellow classmates. It's a super exciting event at Marymount. Next, we're going to head out to the Loire Family Terrace. This is our outdoor space. So it bridges two of our buildings, Carson Hall to Nugent Hall. And it's a great place on a beautiful day to come sit outside, get some sun, get out of the classroom again. And even if you don't want to sit on the terrace, we are within walking distance from Central Park. So if you want to go lay out in the grass, but we do offer this space for our students as well. Next, we are going to head into Nugent Hall and head up to the 5th floor of Nugent Hall. So the 5th floor of Nugent Hall is home to our Comm Arts department. My previous home, I spent many hours on the 5th floor of Nugent Hall, but this is our Teresa Lang Center for Producing. So this is our fully functioning TV studio home in our Comm Arts department. You'll take classes in a classroom right on the other side of this. We don't have a photo of it in this presentation, but the classroom that connects to this has a green screen. So you'll be filming in that room and everything will be projected into the producing studio. So if you're interested in anything TV, being in front of the camera, behind the camera, in the editing room, in the sound booth, anything like that, we have that opportunity for you here at Marymount, no matter your major. And next, we're going to head down to the 2nd floor of the library. But before we do, I want to let you know that the 4th floor of Nugent Hall is home to theater and dance studios. And then the 3rd floor of Nugent Hall is home to our quiet floor of our library. So we skipped that on the tour, but we'll head to the 2nd floor of Nugent Hall, which is the communal floor of our library, where you can talk and have group projects going on. So on our 1st floor of the library, we have desktops, computers for students to use. We also have Mac and PC laptops for students to check out and use throughout the day on campus. We have printing that is included in tuition. So essentially, you don't have to bring any dimes or quarters or anything like that to be printing pages at Marymount. You just connect to the printer and you're able to print whatever you need. Super nice, not having to worry about bringing quarters to the library to print anything. And then we're going to head to the Nugent Lounge and Starbucks. So this is a fully functioning Starbucks, one of my favorite places on campus. This is where all of my dining dollars went while I was a student at Marymount. My mom would hate to hear me say that, but Starbucks coffee, spent lots of time here. They'll know your order by the end of the semester and just be able to make it for you without having to order anything. But the Starbucks staff is super friendly. And then other than our Starbucks space, the Nugent Lounge has different open mic nights and poetry readings. So it's a great common space for students to come between classes. And then the last stop on our tour is our Teresa Lang Theater. This is our largest theater space on campus. It's just under 250 seats. And even if you're not a theater or a dance student, you're going to be spending time here in the Teresa Lang Theater. We have 4 main stage shows each year for theater, 2 each semester, and that sometimes is even higher, up to 6 performances or 6 shows each year. And then our dance department also has 2 main stage shows each year, 1 each semester. And for students that might not be on stage, but will be in the audience, we have our convocation event that happens here. So that will be our welcoming event on campus for you to become official Marymount students. So I'll leave you with that and hope to see you on campus for fall 2021, or if you're junior or sophomore in the coming years. But that is the end of our tour. If you have the opportunity to visit New York, we're actually not open for tours right now, but if you're in the area and you want to just look around, definitely stop by.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexis, for giving us that great virtual campus tour. Of course, we would have loved to have each of you on campus to give you a in-person campus tour by each of our student workers, but we really hope you enjoyed our virtual campus tour. So thanks again, Alexis, and thank you to all of our presenters from this afternoon. At this time, I have a couple questions to ask our panelists. Once we get through these questions, we're going to have also Kelly and Megan share any of their experiences with these 3 wonderful areas on campus. And for any of our guests that have any questions, please feel free to type those questions in the chat box. All right, so first question is for career services. When do students typically begin applying for internships?
So, so if it is an internship for credit that a student wants to do, one of the things that they'll do is they will speak with their academic advisor, so somebody in Alessandra's area, to make sure that it's something that fits in with their program. But they also need to be, they need to have been at the college or have 24 Marymount credits under their belt before they can apply to do an internship for credit. So typically those don't start until at least the summer after freshman year, and more likely tend to happen during the academic year in your sophomore and junior year. I will say, Estrella mentioned this, having New York City as something that's a place that's accessible with so many opportunities. Finding internships in the summer is a lot harder because you are competing with students from all across the country, many of whom live in the New York metropolitan area, but are coming home for the summer. So some of those really highly sought after opportunities, our students have a greater opportunity to have during the academic semesters because they're not competing with as many people from around the country. So it really is a real benefit to our students, but typically it waits until the sophomore year. You kind of got to get your sea legs, your college legs under you first. And then we recommend that you go out and do that.
Thank you, Robin. This next question is for residence life. Is housing guaranteed for all 4 years?
Housing is not guaranteed for all 4 years. Majority of our students do live with us their first year and sophomore year and tend to find their own places junior and senior, but we do try to accommodate all of our students as best as we can. Altogether, we have about 700 total beds. So our operating capacity, our max capacity is about that number.
Okay, thank you. And then one more question for you, Michelle, and actually Kelly and Megan, if you guys want to add to this as well. What's the most enjoyable part of living in the residence halls? I guess more specifically 55th Street, but it could be for both.
I'll start and then the students can definitely have their experience, share their experience too. From what I'm hearing from students, they're in Manhattan. We've got easy access to Central Park and the museums, all the Broadway shows. Living in a residence hall, you really get to experience living amongst the other Marymount students. So you get to connect with friends, whether it's in your classes or in your majors or not completely, not in your major. So it's a great opportunity to just be part of the Marymount community and feel the support and family that we all want you to have.
Living at 55th was absolutely incredible. And I'm not even saying this to be dramatic, but it was one of the best times of my life. I had the most fun. I lived on the 20th floor, so I had incredible views. I'm actually still living with my roommate from freshman year now that I'm off campus. So I've made incredible friends. And I've gained such a level of independence by living in an apartment style residence hall from day one. I had to learn how to budget. I had to learn how to kind of meal prep for the week with my kitchen. And I had to commute with the train every now and then and make sure that, I was getting to work on time or school or whatever. And it really is the perfect location. You are in the heart of Manhattan. And especially as somebody who loves theater, it's really nice being so close to Midtown to go see shows and everything. But I loved living at 55th. It was great.
Thank you for sharing, Megan. All right, so we have a question now for academic advisement. So this is for you, Alessandra. How much flexibility do freshmen have to choose courses?
That is a great question. And that's actually something that I was like, maybe I should have brought that up in my intro. So I was like, I was hoping that someone would ask about registration for incoming students. So in terms of answering your question, how incoming students are registered for courses, when you decide on Marymount and you put a deposit down, you fill out a pre-registration form that is sent to you by admissions, and you indicate your academic interests on that form. So you'll not only say your incoming major, but then also you indicate some extracurricular interests. And then in terms of incoming students, at our team of academic advisors for all incoming students, we register you for courses based on the information provided in your pre-registration form. That being said, if you see, once you receive your classes, let's say come the start of the semester, and you're like, I was registered for a Spanish class and I am not a language person and I need to switch out, all students have the opportunity to meet with this academic advisement staff member and change their schedule up until within the first week of the semester. So the first week of the semester is called add drop, and that's when students can add and drop a course without any sort of penalty. So to answer your question, all incoming students, you are registered based on the interest that you tell us. And if you don't like those courses, you have the opportunity to change them. After your first semester, so once you're registered as an incoming student, moving forward, students register for their courses on their own. So after we register you for that first time as an incoming student, you register for classes all on your own. But for that first time, as first-time incoming students, academic advisement will register you. So it's really important that you fill out that pre-registration form and outline all the things you're interested in so we can tailor your schedule to you.
Thank you, Alessandra. Robin, I know you mentioned in your overview that your office is offering one-on-one career counseling and programming and services virtually. Can you share a little bit more information on the virtual offerings that Career Services is offering our students?
Sure. So in terms of one-on-one career counseling visits, we do that. A student will make an appointment with us in the same way that they would if they were live and in person. We have an online job posting board. Thank you for asking this question because it reminds me of other things I didn't tell you about. The Career Services hosts an online job posting board. It's called Career Connection, and it houses everything from opportunities to babysit in the area and walk dogs, to part-time jobs, to internships, to full-time postgraduate opportunities. And so that system, Career Connection, also has an appointment application. And so students can go in and set up an appointment with an available career counselor, and we Zoom in the same way that you are chatting with us and meeting with us today and have been doing probably lots of other things with lots of other people. We would connect over Zoom. Students can forward resumes and cover letters to us. We can edit and revise with a student together, sharing our screen. It's actually, in the times that we're living in right now, it's actually much easier to do it via Zoom than if we were to be in person, because we'd have to be 6 feet apart and I'd be talking to you behind a mask, and I'd have to hold up a piece of paper that's 6 feet away. So the Zoom actually allows for us to have that sort of connection and sort of, interact with one another, even if we can't be in the same place. But it's been working well. And we have been doing lots of programming as well. We run question and answers. We've done presentations recently on sort of in-depth presentations on cover letters, resumes, interviewing tips, networking skills, a whole variety of sort of the standard career and professional development engagement that you would want from your career services office. And we're just doing it remotely or virtually, and doing our best to interact with students that way.
Thank you so much, Robin. Okay, so we have 2 minutes left for this session. Kelly and Megan, do you guys want to add any other experiences that you've had with these 3 different areas on campus?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about career services because they've helped me out a lot. When you come here, when you realize you want to change your career and you don't know what to do, you go to career services. Poor Shayna, who is my career counselor, I meet with her about every other week or so. And every other week I come to her with a new career. And every week we make a new plan. But they've helped me out a lot in terms of realizing there's a lot of job opportunities and like careers to go into than what I knew of coming into college. So if you're curious, if you're thinking, if you have a rough idea of where to go to, go make an appointment with career services. They will get you a track. They will change that track. They're the people who make me not feel panicked about the future of my career. So shout out to them.
Okay, very quickly, with career services virtual offerings, I actually had my first internship over the summer, which was completely virtual. I did it for credit, and I was a recipient of the City Edge scholarship. And I cannot say how great it was to like be supported by school just like remotely, even in that like little way. It was great. Yeah, I really do recommend looking into internships, like just period. It's a great like addition to your whole college experience. And I feel very confident in my career choices. So even though it was like virtual, so it was fun.
All right, thank you so much. So I'm going to now pass the virtual microphone over to my colleague, Alexis McPadden.
Thanks, Estrella. Alessandra, can you stay on for 1 second? We had one more question.
Happy to.
How are AP credits or transfer credits recognized by MMC? Would you just mind highlighting that briefly?
Absolutely. So that's a great question. So I'll start with AP credits. So in terms of AP credits, we do accept college level credits dependent on the score you receive. We have a kind of chart that we use. So every exam, we have a different threshold of scores we accept. So what I would advise that if you are someone who took an AP exam in high school, please send that to our admissions office in your application, because what will happen is once you send that report will then go to our team of academic advisors to evaluate and grant you transfer credit. So we do recognize those credits. To answer that question more specifically, it depends on the score, but please send in your exam score so we can see if we can get you the maximum credit. For transfer credit, almost a similar situation. If you have taken transfer classes elsewhere as a dual enrollment student, or you took classes at a local community college, whatever it may be, we accept those credits. The grade has to be a C or higher, and it has to be a credit bearing course at an accredited institution. But if you did take those classes, same exact situation, you send an official copy of the transcript to our admissions office. It then gets passed down to my team, and we evaluate that transfer credit and see how it can apply towards your degree. So the biggest key is that making sure that you send official copies of whatever score or credit you've gotten to admissions.
Perfect. Thank you so much for going into more detail.
Yeah, no problem. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Alessandra. So in terms of questions for admissions, this can go to one of our counselors or student, whatever. So if I submit regular decision, will I still be qualified for institutional aid and scholarship?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So absolutely. No matter what application category you submit under, which option, you are automatically considered for academic scholarship. Even if you apply regular decision as a theater student, you would be considered, for competitive based scholarships as well. So no matter what, you are automatically considered for our scholarships here. Again, the way that you have to, in order to be considered for any grants or anything like that would have to be through the FAFSA. So just remember that in order to be considered for federal Pell Grant or Marymount need-based grants, the FAFSA does have to be submitted there. But absolutely, we consider all students for financial aid. Again, we are very flexible and try to be as generous as possible with our financial aid. So there are no extra hoops or anything, no extra essays to submit or write. But again, my biggest recommendation too would also to look at external scholarships as well, where you may have to write an essay or submit a resume based on the what the company or whoever you're going to is asking for, because we do accept external scholarships. We are a stackable institution, which means we're not going to take away $2,000 of the academic scholarship that we gave you just because you got a $2,000 scholarship from an external source. So absolutely, all of our students are considered.
Awesome, thank you. And if you want to answer this one as well, in terms for transfer students. So the question is, I submitted my FAFSA last year for the college that I'm currently attending. excuse me, do I have to resubmit my FAFSA again this year?
Yeah, so the FAFSA is a form that you do have to fill out with every new year, especially if you are looking at transferring into Marymount. It does need to be sent to Marymount directly, and it also needs to be your most up-to-date financial information. So, you know, I always joke around that my favorite thing about graduating was no longer had the need to fill out a FAFSA. I was just so happy to not have to fill it out anymore, because every year you do have to update that FAFSA. So yes, definitely go onto the FAFSA website, make sure all of your information is up to date and correct. And then again, make sure to enter Marymount school code, so it's going to the correct institution, which would be 002769.
Perfect, thank you. And this one is more geared for our current students. So we had the question before about a sign language club, but if Aubrey maybe would mind just talking about how to start a club on campus, how to get involved with clubs on campus.
Right. Okay. So I have started a club on campus. I am president and founder of Asian Pacific Islander Desi Association, and it's super easy, and student development activities literally will go above and beyond to help you, from sending you resources to finding students for you who might be interested. You just need 10 students. You need to appoint 4 of those students president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. You fill out paperwork that's like, this is the people who are in my club, and this is their contact information. You fill out a constitution, which is pre-written for you, but you can adjust things to fit your club's needs better. And then that's it. Once you submit that paperwork, they will approve it. You do training for like half an hour. They give you a budget and you start a club.
Perfect, thank you. And for, sorry, just pulling up one more question. The question is there any benefit to applying early action apart from just finding out earlier? I don't know if Taz wants to take that one.
Yeah, so the other priority that you get if you do early action is you get priority consideration for financial aid. So the sooner you submit your application, the more chances you can get higher financial aid, higher grants to assist with your educational career.
Perfect, thank you. And for our current students, again, what has been your favorite thing that you've participated in on campus, whether it's an event or, you know, a class? What has been like one defining moment of Marymount for you? If Alex wants to start on that one.
Okay, one defining moment for me is probably the welcome convocation we have during the like welcome week and orientation. I think it was just like one of the first times that I really experienced the like deep community and the instant community that I found at Marymount, like even with people I wasn't like sure that I knew, and some people who I still have only met virtually, like the sense of community that I found in that was like marvelous and amazing. And yeah, and that was like, and during my welcome week, I was like so excited. And then that really just made me realize even more that I made the right decision coming to Marymount.
And for context, Alex is a first-year student, so he's in his first semester, so definitely getting his feet wet in all areas. He's one of our Griffin guides as well, so thank you, Alex. Aubrey, if you want to chime in.
It is no question that the drag show is my favorite event. I talk about it on every tour. I talk about it to whoever I meet. I literally will not stop talking about it. It is put on by Campus Activities Board. Shout out to Kelly, who is just here. And I also had the privilege of being on the drag show committee board. And it's so exciting because you have students who weren't necessarily, whoa, I'm so sorry, necessarily brain performers or in performing majors. And they come out and they just want to have a good time and they want to put on a show and like have fun with you. And the crowd is so interactive. And it is the most specific event at Marymount that really embodies a sense of community outside of Welcome Week. Like I've seen people across all majors show up to the drag show because like it is the most wonderful time and it's right around the corner around in February. So it's probably like your first or second week back on campus. And it is truly like a wonderful experience. I love it so much. I have really good memories from both drag shows I've attended.
Awesome. Thank you, Aubrey. And Kelly, I'm going to see if you're out there. If you would just mind, as Campus Activities Board President, just discussing, what that is, how students can get involved, the types of events that you put on. I know specifically when I was a student, always loved getting emails about free Broadway tickets that were being offered. So please feel free to go into that.
All right, hi everyone. So basically the Campus Activities Board, we are the club on campus that's responsible for planning a bunch of events, such as we do street fairs for Apple Fest and Strawberry Fest. And we have a bunch of different divisions within the club. So we have special and annual events, which is where the street fairs, the drag show, and other kind of like our homecoming events all fall under there. And then we have multicultural and diversity events, such as Festival of Lights, which is our non-denominational holiday celebration at the end of the year, as well as we had Day of Puerto Rico last year and some other educational events that fall underneath there. Off campus, which is looking a little different right now. However, we are still doing some off campus events, but typically it'd be Broadway shows, baseball games, kind of just getting people the tickets and resources to go off campus and experience all that, because we know it can be expensive. And then we also just have like the main people and general members. We do movie nights still. We're still doing virtual events. We did a virtual escape the room. So we're still planning just types of stuff for the student body to enjoy and to make sure that we're fostering that sense of community. And if you want to get involved in our club or any club on campus, it's easy. We do virtual club fairs as well as in person when we can, due to COVID, obviously not quite happening right now, but yeah. So you just get involved that way. You can just email the club directly and join their meetings.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. And so we have a few minutes left. We're going to end this presentation. We'll have all of our admission counselors that are here just introduce themselves with their territories, and then we'll have a few last words. So I'll start just to hand it off, but my name is Alexis McPadden. I am a 2019 alum, and I recruit students from the West Coast and Long Island, Pacific Northwest, and Michigan, Wisconsin, and Ohio. So if you're from there, I'm your counselor.
Hi, everyone. I'll go next.
Sorry, I forgot to hand it off. Amanda.
No worries. So my name is Amanda Hudson. I know you guys saw me earlier, so hello again. Again, I am a Marymount alum as well, graduated in 2017. And my territory is Florida, my home state. I also cover New Jersey, Staten Island, and most recently, I also picked up West Virginia, Kentucky, North and South Carolina as well. So if you fall under any of those states, definitely feel free to reach out to me. I am more than happy to help with any questions that you may have. And I guess I'll hand it over to Taz once again.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tazuya, but I also go by Taz. I am a first-year recruiter here at admissions counselor here at Marymount Manhattan, and I recruit in, let's see, I always forget, Pennsylvania, Delaware, DC, Maryland, Virginia, and Queens and Bronx in the New York City. So if you're from there, hello, nice to meet you, and I look forward to hearing from you further on. And I will pass it on to Emma.
Hello, thank you, Taz. My name's Emma. I'm one of the admission counselors here as well at Marymount Manhattan College, as well as an alumna from 2018. My territories are all over the place. I have Brooklyn, Texas, which is where I'm from, then a lot of the South, so through to Georgia, the Midwest, and then I help out a lot with international. So any international students, I'm usually helping answer emails as well. And like I said, I think I also mentioned the Midwest.
Perfect. Thanks, Emma. And Estrella, we'll have you.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Alexis. So my territory is not as large as Emma's. I recruit in Manhattan, Puerto Rico, and I also help out a little with international admissions as far as the Caribbean. And I guess we can have Christian go next.
Thank you, Estrella. My territory is the world outside the US. I review applications from international students, and Emma and Estrella actually help with that process as well. So if you're an international student, you will hear from me or Emma or Estrella, or a combination of all of us. And we have John is not here today. And John is upstate New York, New England, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a few other territories as well. And Greg is our transfer coordinator, and Greg is all transfer students. So both of them, if you need to reach out to them as well, you can find those online.
Alrighty, so that there are no other questions in the chat. Estrella, I don't know if you have any, or Christian, you're here. Sorry.
No, don't worry. Just I want to say thank you to everyone for today. For the past 2 hours, for you to have decided to stay with us and go through open house. I hope that you learn a lot about the college, and there is a lot more that we can offer, a lot more information that we can offer. So feel free to keep in contact with us. You know our faces now. Send us emails, call us. We can have individual Zoom appointments as well. And like I said at the beginning of the session of the event, I'm sorry, we're here to help you with the application process or any questions you have with regarding to admissions to MMC. Special thank you to Estrella and Sayer. Sayer is somewhere in there. Thank you for putting all of this together, and a great job. And to the staff, the admission staff, and especially as well the students, thank you so much for your amazing work today as well. This concludes the event. So if anything else, have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. And like I said before, please keep in contact, okay? So thank you.